right, welcome back to Ironsworn. We left at an interesting place last time. um, hmm, let's see. So Vess had just killed the sorceress, Kalita, and Jurek is not here, not in Rhyme Run. So, um, would you like to start or would you like me to?
You can go ahead. Yeah, I think
Okay, while you're thinking about it.
that
Okay,
makes sense. Yeah.
alrighty. So, Vess had just let Kalita drop to the ground after stabbing her with the athame. And then she started to realize that whatever Kalita had pricked Ajla with is starting to really course through Ajla's body and feeling the effects of it now in her consciousness. And she spies the basket of herbs and plants that Kalita had been collecting behind the tower. And Vess has a path from long ago that is the herbalist. So she is going to attempt to heal using the herbal remedies, or basically recognizing some of these plants as like counter agents for weird stuff in the system. And yeah, so let's see. Uh, Definitely going to. Hmm. Probably take an additional health. Hopefully it hits. Oh, ye gods. All right. We'll see how this goes. Mm-mm-mm. All right. So that is a 4 versus a 2 and a 3. Okay, good. God. So we're gonna add a health to that. And she's also going to, again, fictionally position it so this way it's like she's cutting the poison out of the wound and like also trying to suck on it and get it out. I mean, um, whatever ways that she knows that stuff like this would be moving through her system, and then she's trying to clear it out as best as possible. Um, and then she is going to formulate a plan to get into the tower and confront Gylrikin for, well, things that she'd seen in Ajla's memory. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, let's go over to Jurek, who seems to be in some nearby waypoint to the spirit realm where obviously Tavik is. And your friend just laid something pretty heavy on your door. And he's looking at you, not sure what you're thinking. What are you thinking?
Eureka's is wondering what about this place makes it so that Tavik can manifest so clearly. He's talked to him for a long time, but it's always been a internal thing, that the way we might talk to a deceased relative or something. And I guess Yurik is wondering if this what being dead is like.
Tavik will look at you, and then his eyes stray to your body and then sees that you actually have a wound. So, you battled to get here? Is that what happened? There you have a wound there on your side.
You know me, Tavik. I can find myself in trouble rather easily, it seems.
Yes, it
I wouldn't
seemed.
call it much of a battle, though. I think I made a fool of myself as much as anything.
How? I mean, you're usually. The hawk is quick to stoop to the kill. I mean,
I'm getting old, Tavik, and I'm a little out of practice.
oh, didn't really notice.
All those years trying to be a better man. So much for that.
But what do you consider better? I mean, we we were part of Shakar's warband. I mean, we were expected to, well, raid and, well, kill. I mean, it don't get much simpler than that. And you were good at it. What do you mean by better?
I sometimes wonder what the people we left in the mud behind us thought of how good I was.
So you're saying we should have questioned orders? I mean, we were named because we were good at what we did. I mean, you wanted to settle in your little village somewhere and just have a life that way? I mean,
I don't know what I want. That's how I've ended up in trouble again. I don't claim to have the answers. I just know killing folk I don't even know doesn't seem like any kind of way to lead your life.
hmm. I guess I never questioned it. I mean, I I knew I was good at it, and my father was good at it, and I think, as you saw, our ancestress is pretty good at it.
Seems that way.
You're still in the in between. You're not. You're not dead. This is
Well,
just a.
that's something, I suppose.
This is just a place that's close to, I guess, the final rest. I suppose.
So how do I get out of here?
That is the question that I don't necessarily have an answer to. I mean, I think what makes the difference is the fact that your self is here. It's not just your spirit. I mean, I can actually Well, I can see you have a wound. If you were truly dead, you wouldn't have anything like that on you. How did
Suppose
you get
not.
here? I mean,
Well, last I remember, I was in of all things, a tower, fighting against this ass of a scholar. And seems he was more of the sorcerer than I gave him credit for. And he did something, opened a hole that I fell into. And here I am.
there's a passageway?
I've told you everything I know.
Huh. Well, they say sometimes passageways have other entrances. So, I mean, if you're willing to walk, you might be able to find something around here. I guess I haven't really stopped doing what I did when I was alive. Still patrolling. Still protecting the edge of something.
You were always the one with the sharp eyes. For all that they called me the Hawk. Or perhaps it's your nose. Were you sniffing them out?
Well, then that must mean you have a stink about you because I found you.
I don't doubt it.
Still so serious. Oh.
Well, here I am. Halfway dead. Stuck talking to you. You expect me to be cracking jokes?
She must be so amused by you.
She's not going to be pleased to know I left that fool of a scholar alive.
I was talking about Ajla.
So was I.
What? Why would she want a scholar dead?
They have some kind of past between them, and I get the impression it wasn't a happy one.
She's been known to handle unwanted attention her way. I can't imagine anyone getting the better of her.
Good for her. But being tough doesn't always stop you from getting hurt.
True. Hence my situation. And he gestures to himself.
Yes.
They were
You
good.
know, I only did what I had to do.
When I was alive? Or now that I'm dead?
Between the two. The way you were screaming, they would have been down on us in a moment, and I couldn't carry you no further. For what it's worth, Tavik, I'm sorry.
You did what you had to do. Why are you still blaming yourself? I I would probably do the same. I would have done the same if the situation was reversed.
I point to cut back over to
Sure,
Ajla, I think.
sure. I think as Vess is trying to clear the poison from her body, or Ajla's body, um, it's not a comfortable process, to say the least. She's most likely trying to make herself retch and just trying to clear as much poison as possible. And in that, along with the herbs that she's trying to imbibe, there's a change of consciousness. Vess is feeling like she's going in and out because her consciousness is almost fighting with Ajla's, who's trying to struggle awake. And then they find themselves in, if possible, something of a neutral ground. And Ajla snaps her eyes open within this place. Doesn't see the tower. Doesn't see Rhyme Run down below. It seems to be some mountain plain somewhere. And the atmosphere is full of haze. And she sees the woman that she had seen at the edge of her dreams, either slipping into consciousness or out. And the woman of the silver eyes approaches closer, but then stops a few paces away from Ajla and gestures for both of them to sit on stones that happen to appear near where each of them stand. And Ajla calls out, "Who are you? I see you." And Ajla hears in the haze, "Yes, yes. You know me, child, even though you're older than I was when I died. Let's talk and see what we can do about your friend, who may be in the Between Realm." Ajla sits, and a look of confusion crosses her face. "What do you mean? Where's Jurek? He's back in the tower, right?" And the voice in the haze goes, "No. I suspect that he is not in the tower anymore. In fact, I think your acquaintance, Gylrikin, had done something. I sense the void in the tower now. And I don't feel that Jurek is there. He might be in the void. Does that mean that Gylrikin put him there? Most likely. That's why the sword came next to you. Because he lost it. Or he put it in the void along with Jurek. And how does one get somebody out of the void? Does that mean he's dead? No, it's just a between place. Although he might as well be. The only thing helping him is the fact that if his physical body is there, then he doesn't have to worry about passing into the next realm. What do I need to do to get him out? And in the haze, Ajla sees the ghost of a smile. I have a plan for that, actually. And then the haze lowers, thickens. And then next we see Ajla's body, or Ajla herself, flutter her eyes open from clearing out the last of the poison, and picks up the sword and Khalidah's body and maneuvers Khalidah's body in front of her, according to her discussion with Vess, and takes Khalidah's body and maneuvers it like a puppet to knock on the imp knocker while staying well behind Khalidah's body. The echo of the knocker is heard throughout the tower, through the open windows, and there's a hurried clatter down the stairs as Gylrikin throws open the door without looking, and Ajla can hear him say, "Oh, good. It's like, you've got to come in here. I don't know what happened. The void won't close. I activated it. I put that fool in with the sword. I mean, I can't close it. I don't know what happened." And so he rushes back up the stairs without really looking at Khalida or Ajla behind her, and Ajla follows, keeping Khalida's body in front of her as if she's following Gylrikin. Back in the between void, is that what happened? I thought it was because I died from my wounds. There were so many of them. They were so varied from that ambush.
You would have done in time.
But
Before long.
I hear a but.
But eased you along the way.
Let me ask you, is it because you could not see me suffer anymore? Or is it because you were afraid of what would happen if I caused you to be discovered? What was the reason?
I'd like to say it was the first one. But if I'm being honest, squealing the way you were like to bring them down on us. And I knew there wasn't much I could do for you. It was a long way back to camp, and I didn't think you were going to make it.
It was a mercy. I mean, does it help if I say I understand that it's fine?
It helps.
And then I hear another but. But
there's a lot of ways folk can justify the things they've done to others, to themselves. But if they're being honest, all justifications in the world doesn't make it easier to carry that weight. Or if it makes it easier, it doesn't take it away.
were you always like this? Did I miss something where you found a philosopher and you were thinking about this the whole time? About worrying about whether or not it was the right thing? I mean, you stayed with the warband with me and Isru. I mean, we all did this.
You liked me better when I was drunk and angry and full of fire.
I mean, that is. You were your funniest then. I mean, if I could conjure up some drink for us now, I mean, I'm sure it would be fine.
If you could do that, I wouldn't say no.
I can take you on my patrol. I mean, that's basically what I'm doing right now. Imagine.
Let's go take a look.
Yeah. Imagine. Well. I am actually happy to see you. But not like this. You have changed.
I've got older, Tavik. That's what I've done. If you'd been still around, you'd have changed too.
Maybe. Maybe. And so, you walk. You know not where. He seems to be leading because he knows what the edges of this place are, where he needs to go. And he keeps his eyes open, but keeps looking at you, smiling, and then starts on remembering, reminiscing. mentioning times that you and he, and maybe Isru and the others, were enjoying yourselves in the heat of battle. And in the times undertaken in the distant past. Back at the tower, Gylrikin has gone in a flurry back up to the near tower room where he had opened up the void symbols. And Ajla, as stealthily as possible, is trying to keep Kalida's body in front of her and mimicking someone hurrying up the stairs after Gylrikin. It's only when they get to the doorway and Gylrikin is staring down at the void space that, if you were there, Jurek, you'd notice is a little bit larger than it was when you first went in. And he is running his hands through his hair in a bit of a panic, saying, all I did was I activated the symbols like you taught me, and I knew I had to get rid of him. He wasn't going to leave the sword here. I lost my temper. I admit it. I don't care. Can you close it? Look at it. It's a little bit bigger than it was. It's actually surpassed the circle of symbols that you first created, and I don't know if I can do anything about this. And Ajla listens to him, listens to his panic. He's not looking over at Khalida, but then as he slowly gets more confused and agitated, she slowly lets Khalida's body fall to the floor. So, as before, you don't know what you're doing. And at that, Gylrikin whirls around to look at her, sees Khalida's body on the floor, and just panics. He whips out the dagger that he had in his belt after he had stabbed you, Jurek. And he goes for Ajla. Combat! So, I would say face danger.
Time.
Well,
face danger if you're not.
Yeah, she's not going for him. He's going for her. So probably face danger makes the most sense at this point.
Yeah, if she's what is she attempting to do? Like just get out of his way?
Yeah, she and Vess had a discussion about things that could happen at this point. And yeah, she's gonna get out of his way, and then she will see where it takes her, because there's some specific things that need to happen with his body and Khalida's to be able to reopen a passageway to get you, to get Jurek back. So, let's see. Face danger. It would... sorry, I have to actually look at the character sheet and see what would be the most advantageous thing to do. I think with courage at this point, because of, well, just facing his ass down That's a lot.
Is this Ajla or is this still Vess in control at this time?
No, it's Ajla, but I
Okay.
mean, she's actually listening to Vess.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yep. So, ooh, no, shit. That is a weak hit because it's a 4 against a 4 and a 1.
That's a weak hit.
Yup. Let's see. Weak hit. Succeed, but faced a troublesome cost. Ah, crap. Choose one. You are delayed, lose advantage, or face a new danger. Suffer a -1 momentum. You are tired or hurt. Endure harm, dispirited or afraid. Endure stress. Or sacrifice resources. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to say... she's enduring stress, I think, because she's afraid. She knows what she has to do. She knows she has to do it, but she is... yeah.
And it's no small thing when somebody from your past attacks you.
Uh-huh. Exactly. That's spirit, right? That affects spirit?
It does, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this would be...
So then you would mark down your spirit by 1, is it? And then
yeah.
you make the endure stress move.
Okay. Endure stress. I marked down the
so you mark down the spirit first.
Yep.
And then you do
stress.
this.
Okay. Mental shock or despair. Okay, great.
So you roll plus heart or plus spirit, whichever is higher.
In this case, it's still spirit, so...
yeah.
Oh, boy.
So plus 4.
Okay, so 4 plus 4 is 8 versus a 2 and a 3. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay, choose one.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Right. Embrace the darkness. Take 1 momentum. Damn straight, because that's... right now, it's pretty dark for her. Okay. So, I'm assuming that lost initiative, so it's not strike, it would be clash in this case?
Yeah, if he has initiative, then...
Yep. And this is pretty close quarters because she's also trying to avoid being dumped into the void. So...
yeah.
Clash.
Yeah, then clash.
All right.
Well, it's clash if she's trying to fight back. If she's trying to avoid him or just defend herself, then it's face danger.
Hold on. I think she's brought up... I mean, she's dropped Khalid's body and she's brought up the sword to go against the dagger. So I'm going to say clash in this case.
Yep. The difference is, like, the stakes are higher with clash, but you can also potentially hurt him.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't with face danger.
No, I'm thinking she wants to...
yeah, good.
Oh, she's
good
going
for her.
to... yeah, exactly. Ooh, crap, potato too. Shit. Okay, so that's 7 versus a 2 and a 10. So weak hit. All right. Inflict your harm. All right. So sword, 2 harm. Right. 2 harm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Oh shit! I forgot to set up the damn progress track.
we need to set up a progress track.
Sorry.
Oh, that's because we skipped over doing Into the Fray, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That's technical. Probably should have done that after all.
Well, that's...
Was he already hurt from Iowa's fighting him?
Yes, because
I feel like that
well, I mean,
it makes sense for that to carry over, right?
Yeah. So what progress were...
I was on 4, so you're going to bump that up to 6. It's on that progress tracks tab.
Okay, great. So. Okay, yeah. So go ahead and do that because I was gonna say, I mean, it had to have been the same amount because it's not like he had much time to recover.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, this is not the next day. This is the same damn day.
Yeah, I think narratively that's justifiable. Yeah.
Okay. And pay.
And hang on, it's also dangerous. So it's 2 progress per harm. Okay. So then that takes it up to 8.
Ooh. Okay.
Because you do 2 harm, right? But it's on a dangerous track. It's two progress boxes per harm.
Great. Okay. Pay the price.
So you could Oh yeah, you can't end the fight because
No, because, yeah, still
you
don't
don't
have
have the
the.
initiative.
No, not the initiative yet. And I have to pay the price. Okay, so what do you think is either the most obvious negative outcome at this point, or two negative outcomes and we just kind of figure out which one is the more likely? Um,
I mean,
or
the two that
do you want me to roll on the table?
no, I mean, I think always if there's like a super obvious thing, that's unnecessary. But unless it just seems more fun. Um, but
I know
I
you love
it's
tables.
I do, but then it's not always the right thing to do. Right? It's I mean, to
Well,
my mind that
okay,
the
so what?
two the two obvious things is he does harm to you
Mhm,
or
right.
he pushes you into the void. But we don't really want that to happen because then neither of us are going to get out.
Yeah. Although there's some interesting things that could happen there. um, Trust me, there's plans, but I mean, like, again, it depends on what path we end up taking. So I want to see how this goes. Um,
So yeah, so I would say like either you take harm or you roll on the table, whatever you prefer.
um,
Harm's the obvious one because
right,
like he's
right,
coming at you with a dagger. Right?
right, and yeah, she's using the sword against him, but we'll say, just for funsies, let's roll the table. Let's see.
See, you like tables just as much as I do.
Hey, hey, hey! I'm not admitting a dang thing. Just appeasing you because you're not rolling yet. All right, 41. The current situation worsens. God damn. Great. It's fabulous. Okay.
So how could we interpret that?
Worsens. Oh, the void gets bigger.
Yeah,
So we kind of
nice.
have to like both sidestep it now and just try to avoid
Yeah. Yeah, that's
it.
cool. If it's actually growing, yeah.
Yep. It's like I think he's, as he's clashing with her, and she's brought up the sword to parry or to try to at least keep him back. He notices his eyes widen, that the void seems to have like grown a slight bit around the edges. It's like, and then he says in his panicked voice, it's like, "Bitch, what did you do? Kalita was the only one that could shut this down, or at least do something about it." And Ajla looks away from him for a second, remembering the names, remembering the times that he would make it seem like she was at fault, and never taking any responsibility for anything he'd ever done. And she clashes again.
Maybe you have if this dice go against you, you've got 10 momentum at the moment, so
Mm-hmm. It's fine. Okay. So 6 plus. Hold on, wait a second. Let me just figure out what she's doing. Okay, iron, definitely. Okay, so 6 plus
yeah.
2 is 8 versus a 7 and a 2. So strong freaking hit. Inflict
Oh,
harm.
nice.
So
So that
2.
bumps him up to,
She
well, it bumps him up
slices.
over 10 harm. But yeah,
Yeah.
you can. So at that point, you come off a strong hit. You can end the fight if you want.
Okay.
Do you
I will
get
also.
anything else
I'm sorry?
from Clash? Do you
Yes,
get anything else from a strong hit on Clash?
I'm definitely taking momentum on this.
Well, you can't. You're already at max.
No, momentum, not harm.
Yeah, but aren't you already at 10 momentum?
Mm-mm. No,
Oh,
no.
oh,
I'm now at 8. So
What am I
Building
looking
it
at?
up, building it up. I don't know what you're
So
looking
you
at.
are. I'm looking at totally the wrong box. I'm looking
That's
at.
okay. It's a bit confusing. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so she has the
It's
initiative.
because I'm using a totally different system for playing solo, so it doesn't look
Stop
anything
messing
like it at
yourself.
all.
Hey, stop
Yeah.
messing yourself up. You're just gonna get confused. All right. End the fight, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I could do that now.
Yeah.
All right.
It's coming off a strong hit, and you're on like 10 progress, so
Yeah. And so,
absolutely makes sense.
yeah. And I think in this case, Ajla's remembering what Vess had said as the possibility for being able to get Jurek out. And she is determined to not only do that, but also take revenge for herself and end this with him. So, end the fight. Oh my god. I mean, I know I have the option. I know I have the option to burn momentum.
No, you can't on a progress move.
Oh fuck. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can only
gotcha.
burn momentum if you're, but you don't need to because your action score is 10, right? So you just roll the
Yeah,
two
don't,
d10s.
don't.
I wasn't saying
If I
anything.
did, it's like if we were next to each other, man, I'd be like, okay, 4-4, match.
Oh, and that's a match as well.
Yep. Yay. Okay, so strong hit. Foe no longer in the fight. They are definitely killed because she manages to, and she's not sure whether it's because of Vess, because what Vess has said, or because of what she remembers. But she does like the whirling slash that Vess has done and puts a deep slice into Gylrikin's chest. And then stabs him with the sword. As she stabs him, runs him through, she looks at him now, sees how small and petty he is, and he looks at her with eyes that are slowly losing his spirit. And she says, "This isn't just for Jurek. This is for me. From so long ago." And then she pushes him into the void with the sword clutched in her hands as they both go over the edge into the void. Meanwhile, back on the edge of this between void territory, what memory? I mean, he's talking to you. Tavik's talking to you, Jurek, and just recalling all these fun things that you did when he was alive. And in your youth, I imagine. What's the one memory that keeps cropping up that you remember the most?
I think it's when shortly after they both had joined the warband, not exactly the same time, but in the same kind of cycle of recruiting where the band was traveling around several settlements, taking in new disaffected young men and women, and And yeah, the kind of first time they are hosted as sentries together, and Jurek is, 16 or whatever he was at the time, and doesn't take it terribly seriously. And, he's grumbling about having to do this duty, that he wants to be fighting. And they're in a little hollow behind a tree. And he just kind of settles down to go to sleep. It's, his attitude is just kind of, what are we wasting our time with doing this for when we should be getting after the enemy? They're miles away from here. And it is only Tavik taking his responsibilities more seriously, and with his sharp senses, that saves not only the two of them, but the entire camp from what could have been a devastating ambush. And although Tavik, initially was scornful of what Jurek had done and how he almost got them killed, the way Jurek transformed in the fight and just gave as good as he gave, better than he got, and earned Tavik's respect. And from then on, they were kind of stuck together and had each other's backs.
I think as you are both immersed in this particular memory, and this place has that kind of effect where remembering the past gives you a sense of you can see it in your mind more clearly. You can hear the sounds of that particular day or evening. You can smell the blood of your enemies that you spilled at that point. And you can hear the roar of Tavik telling you, "I told you so." And I think he manages to coax a little smile out of you in that memory.
I think Jurek just thinking back on that says, and I've never slept a night through since.
Well, at least I broke you out of the habit of being lazy. But you were so good. I mean, you were fast. I'd never seen anyone cut a swath through so many warriors before. I mean, I have to admit, I admired you. I'm good, but not that good.
I was fast and I was cruel, and I didn't much care. But yeah, we were young and stupid.
Do you think it was cruel, or because we just didn't know any better? We were fighting because we had orders. We just did it because we could.
Because we didn't know any better. I
Hmm. Can't say being here has made me as thoughtful as you seem to be now. Is that what happens when you become an old man?
maybe it is. If you'd seen me fighting that scholar back in the tower, you wouldn't call me fast now.
Hmm. Well, to get you here, it sounds like he had done some kind of sorcery or something. So, and as he says that, you see further along in the haze, because there is haze here on the edges of this place. You see in the haze several people approaching.
You're expecting company, Tavik?
No. I and he's kind of like squinting um at the figures approaching. And he sniffs. One of them's actually familiar to me. What? Oh no. And he runs from you to meet the figures in the distance. You didn't notice before, but he actually has some kind of spear. It's not clear cut as a spear, but you know it as a spear. And he runs to these people approaching. And he stops. And just has this look on his face of disbelief and wonder, almost smiling. Do you follow? Do you join him?
Yep.
When you come next to him, you see, approaching, Gylrikin with what looks like a hangdog, not contrite, but hangdog sullen expression on his face. Like, can't believe that he's here. And you see two women. One of them is Ajla. And then one of them looks like a younger Ajla. Maybe the mouth or the nose is like slightly different, but I mean, it looks like a younger version of Ajla with silver eyes. And that person has the sword in her hand. Well, imagine meeting you here, Jurek, the younger woman says.
So you'd be Vess, I take it.
Yes, as I am. Not in, well, and she actually pats Ajla's shoulder. I know, I can't believe it either, Jurek. She straightens up and actually has a smile on her face. I took care of the problem. And she gestures to Gylrikin, who has, now that you're looking, he has a slash, a deep slash across his front. So what am I, dead? And Tavik will actually look at him and say, well, yes, yes you are. And just start to laugh. And Tavik will look at you, Jurek, and say, yeah, this one's definitely dead. You're not quite. So, I think this is your way of getting out. Motioning to Vess. And Vess has a very big smile on her face because she says, yes, there is a way out of this void space. It involves all of us. Basically, being carried through by the sword. So, don't you think it's time that we left this place?
Carried through. That wouldn't involve anyone getting run through, would it?
No, no. No worries here. It's fine.
Then let's go. What are we waiting for?
Just you. Didn't know if you had to say any goodbyes before we left. She'll actually get closer to Tavik and say, if you had lived, I think we would have gotten along a lot better. But, as it is, I think your sister and I might have come to an agreement, indicating Ajla behind her. And Ajla is looking at Tavik with surprise and sadness. And her eyes can't believe that she's seeing a brother that she has not, well, seen in person for many, many years. And she will also approach and say, I'm so sorry I hadn't been with you. That I didn't try and keep in touch. There's a bit of a murmur. You don't hear what Tavik says to her. But I think it's a little bit of a reassurance. And Bess says, I think it's time to go. I think we can leave this one, indicating Gylrikin, to Tavik to take care of and usher into his final place. And No contriteness there, just absolute sullen anger on Gylrikin's face as basically Tavik scruffs him and says, "Yeah, let's see what you've been doing that my sister needed to take you out." And so they go off and disappear into the haze. And Vess indicates that you all should be clasping the sword.
The Oracle put his hand on it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as the haze twists around you all, and the purple and the blue and the black darken your vision, it's like you feel the cold iron of the sword underneath your fingers. And then you feel, somehow, you feel the clasp of someone's hand on top of yours as your vision darkens, and you feel the drop in your stomach and a separation in your body. And it's almost as if you feel like you're being pushed forcefully upward, and the rest of you is trying to catch up inside. And then you find yourself outside of the void space, back in the tower. And the void space begins to close. You see a woman's body, you probably remember. Although, as you come to at the edge of the closing space, you recognize the woman's body as someone you've seen, and putting two and two together, you start to remember her name was Kalita. You see her body with a stab wound in the heart, collapsed on the floor. But you only see Ajla there, clasping the sword.
Looks like you've handled yourself well, while I was stuck wherever that was.
Ajla's eyes are closed. She's putting herself up on her elbows as she tries to get up from the floor. And she hears what you said, but she doesn't answer right away. And then she looks around when she opens up her eyes. I don't know if I could have handled it any other way, Jurek. I mean, coming back here, I don't... If he...
You did what you had to do, Ajla.
I know. I don't know whether I did it for you, because Bess told me how to get you back, or if I did it for me.
Does it matter?
I'm not sure. Again, I mean, I haven't killed anybody before. But this one, I was very conscious that I wanted to be the one to do it. Bess did ask me. She asked me if I wanted her to be the one to face him. And I said no. I said I had to be the one to do it. Is this how it feels? To know that you took someone's life? No matter how bad you thought they were?
The first time I did it, I don't think they deserved it. And I didn't feel much of anything. So whatever you're feeling now, I think marks you as a better person than I ever was.
She holds out her hands, and you can see they're shaking. She puts down the sword. So you didn't feel this? You didn't feel like your whole body was suffering cold? Or shaking?
I remember something like that. I remember trying to push it down and ignore it.
Should I do that? I mean...
No. Doesn't matter how hard you push it down. You never forget.
I don't think I can. I looked him right in the face when I did it. Jurek, we need to leave here. I don't know where to go next. I don't know. I mean, but I need to leave this place now. And she looks like she's trying to hold back some tears, and she is still shaking. Not badly, but I mean, like, her whole body looks like it's suffering from cold. And so, yeah. The void has closed more until it's only the size of a plate, and it looks like it's continuing to close. So if you leave, then it does look like it's going to shut by itself.
Yeah, I think Jurek takes a last look back at it, thinking about Tavik. But he's ready to be as far away as he can get as well.
I think when you make it back to the village, she's carrying the sword, of course, and you make it back to the village. I mean, to Rhyme Run. Gavros greets you both with a look of surprise and concern. I don't know what happened. I mean, all of a sudden it seemed like we were remembering, or, I mean, at least me. I don't know about anybody else, but anybody that had been even near the tower remembers seeing a woman that was there. And she was doing strange things while we were working at the tower, and I mean, she had these things, and he holds up without worrying now, like, barehanded. He shows you the strange alloy ingot thing. It's like she was the one that was giving these strange things out. I mean, I guess some for something, but I mean, how how strange that we were actually remembering her now. Did you see her? Did you see her up at the tower?
Oh, we did. I don't think you'll have any more trouble from that direction. I don't understand what she did. But it's done now.
What's done? I mean, it is. Is she gone? Did Gylrikin still there? I mean, did
He's gone too.
oh, huh, yeah.
And Ajla and I need to be gone as well.
Oh, okay. Um, well, the horses have had their daily fodder. You know, I you know, Miss Ajla had given us the last of the, well, at least today's payment. So I mean, you're fine. Are you sure you don't want to stay and at least get a good night's rest before you leave?
We need to be on our way.
And Ajla has put her hood up on her cloak and not looking around at anyone, including Gavros, letting you do all the talking. So, yeah. All right then. I can at least supply you with some. Do you need rations? Do you need like some water skins or anything like that?
That would be a help,
Aye. I can do that. I can definitely give me a few minutes, and then you can get your horses ready. In the meantime, and I will come out to the stable and give you the packages there.
Jurek will nod and kind of lead Ajla along. And once they're out of the door in the stables, say to her, can we trust him? Maybe I'm being paranoid, but I got the impression he was keen to delay us.
Asha won't look at you. She'll just kind of look down. I don't know anymore, Jurek. If you think we should go without waiting, I will go ahead and mount up. I don't. I'm trying not to think, but I'm thinking. Tell me what to do. I'll do it. It's fine.
Mount up. Let's be out of here.
Okay.
We can't be too careful.
All right. And she does. She puts whatever on her on her horse in the saddlebags or whatever, and then mounts up. I'm assuming that you're also taking the extra horse.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah,
three horses. Yep.
always good to have a spare.
Yep. Absolutely. So, yeah. The question is, I mean, one, do we have a destination or are we just gonna ride? Which I can totally get.
I
And then do we do an undertake a journey now? Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe now's a good time for we take a short break and figure
Yeah.
out what we're doing next.
Yeah, absolutely. So 5, 10 minutes, what do you need?
5, yeah.
Okay, so 37 on my watch.
Yep.
All right. All right. So we're on the road riding, and Ajla's not really paying attention to where we're going. More of just following Jurek's lead, or kind of staying abreast, keeping her horse abreast of his, and staying pretty silent for Ajla. It was strange seeing my brother again. He looks like he did, or maybe a little bit older than when I had actually seen him last.
It was. I don't know how many times I've talked to him in the last few years, but to see his face, to hear him really talk, wasn't expecting it.
How could you? You didn't know you were going to be there. That was that was such a strange place for even as short of a time as I was there. I mean, did Gylrikin? Well, I mean, obviously, if you were able to come back, I mean, you weren't dead, so that's good. Um,
I don't claim to understand anything about it, but I'm grateful you got me out of there.
when Bess told me that you had ended up in that place, I couldn't. I mean, you for some reason stuck by me to get there, to go to Rhyme Run, and you went there in my stead. You didn't have to, and that would have been me, I guess, in the void. If I had been brave enough, I guess, to face him down myself instead of sending you.
You were brave enough. Brave enough for both of us. Don't beat yourself up on that account.
I mean, did we even find out anything of worth? I mean, did he tell you anything? That that
He did something. I don't know how much help it is, but Tavik said this Vess was your ancestor.
what? The inscription on the blade. Blood calls to blood. I'm related to her? She didn't say that when we were, talking. But what does it mean? Until blood calls to blood. Cult bound until vow is fulfilled. What vow?
I was hoping you might have some idea there.
No, I mean, I know the story. I mean, we know that she single-handedly defended the line so our people could escape and I guess come here. But aside from that, I don't know what that vow is. Huh. I felt like I recognized her somehow when I actually saw her in front of me. It was very strange seeing this person that was in my dream, but actually getting to see her was very odd, and talking to her. But again, I don't know what that vow is meant to be.
Maybe there's some way we can find out. But don't ask me how.
Do you think she would... Do you think she would tell us the truth if asked? I mean, I can try to...
I don't know that I trust her, but if she does tell us anything, it might be useful.
And in this case, I'm wondering if this would be appropriate to do the... Let me see. True blade bound. Let's see. When you gather information by listening to the whispers of your kin blade, add +1 and take +2 momentum on a hit, then endure stress. That I get. I think I can actually talk to her, but I don't think I can do it while riding. I think I have to actually sit and concentrate on it.
Well, let's get a little further
Okay.
away from here.
All right.
And there's no big rush. Wait until you're feeling recovered.
I'm just glad we were able to get you out.
Well, that makes two of us.
I thank you, and I know I didn't say it before. I thank you for being willing to see me to rhyme run and facing my past, I guess. You didn't have to. Regardless of your swearing on iron. Did Tavik? Well, actually, I don't remember now. Did you have our father's ring when you were in that place? Did Tavik notice?
If he did, he didn't say anything to me.
Hmm. Always made me wonder whether our father told him the same stories that he told me. He would say he was looking at me through iron when he played with that ring when I was a little girl. He might not have. I mean, maybe he treated Tavik a little differently because he was a boy. And, yeah. Maybe wanted him to follow in his footsteps, I guess.
Well, he did that right enough.
Yes, he did.
Now listen, Ajla. I don't think either of us know where we're headed next. Gylrikin wasn't much help. And the further we are away from the Iron Priest, the happier I'll be. Might be I know some folk up in the mountains. Could be a good place to hold up until we know something more or where to go next. We'll be safe enough there.
Are they trustworthy, though? That's the question. I mean,
I wouldn't exactly say yes, but let's just say I'd trust them further than you would trust Gylrikin.
yeah, that was a very poor decision on my part.
It might be best once we get there if you keep that sword under wraps and don't mention it to anyone.
Okay.
But other than that, they won't do us any harm intentionally.
Intentionally? Okay. Where are we going?
My old warband. They hole up in the mountains, a place called White Cairn, in the winter. Lay in supplies. See out the cold. It's off the beaten path.
Would they welcome us if we came upon their winter quarters? I mean, now that you're no longer with them.
I have enough old friends there. They won't turn us away.
Okay. I mean,
they might not welcome me with open arms, but
well, so long as they don't meet you with bared swords, I guess. I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
is there any place near there that just in case they decide that they want to turn us away, that we could go to instead? I mean, I'm not saying that we don't try. I'm just thinking about making sure that there's some other place that we can consider as a backup.
There are a fair few settlements along the way.
Okay.
If it comes to that, we'll find another place to hold up.
Okay. I mean, as you say, a good of an idea as any, and It's a bit to take in still. I'm happy to keep the sword sheathed on purpose for a while.
Once we're there, I don't think you'll need to use it.
I mean, hopefully they welcome stories. I mean, I can at least provide those.
Oh, they do. Especially stories about brave warriors and fair maidens.
I've got a few of those. Those tales.
Somehow I thought you might. They're the most popular kind.
Yeah. Always with somebody being saved. Not necessarily somebody saving themselves. I have many of them, but they're not my favorite.
And what are your favorites?
And as you're riding, she starts to think about them. And a little smile blooms on her face as she just kind of recalls a few stories of people being people and dealing with everyday things that turn extraordinary for some strange reason, or for possible encounters with strange things in their day-to-day life. And she looks off in the distance as you are riding and she's following on her horse, and she's talking about these people that by circumstance may have found themselves transported elsewhere, or seeing the steps of giants and falling through to another place, another time, or of strange places that don't exist anywhere, but they are fun stories to tell because it leads people's imagination and wonder that they could happen, they could be real.
Do
And
you know
so,
what, Ajla?
what, Jurek?
I think after whatever that place was that Gylrikin threw me into, I'm going to stick with stories about brave warriors and fair maidens.
I don't blame you. I can tell one of those if you really want to. She actually begins a tale of a brave lad named Orm, and then speaking of a love that he knew only through a picture of her, drawn fair, painted beautiful, and he searched for her for a few years, in his travels meeting different people, having different adventures, and then coming upon her in his adventures, knowing her only by her portrait, and realizing that he had fallen in love with just the picture and didn't understand the woman that stood before him, holding him up for his gold. And she ends that story with a laugh.
And yeah, Jurek just has a kind of smile on his face.
So you do smile. It's good to see. Goodness knows we haven't had much to smile about lately.
Well, that much is true. Let's see if we can start doing something to turn that luck around, shall we?
Indeed. I think at this point this would be, out of character to, start creating that track and doing the undertake a journey thing, I would say, right?
And I think we should also just take a look at our current vows and see if
Okay.
If it makes sense to trigger.
Sure. And again, marking bonds with each other, you have to admit, I don't care mechanically how it works. You have to admit, like going through that rhyme run, that's got to earn us like at least one
so,
tick each.
Yeah, right. I think we can consider. I don't know if you really have to. It doesn't, to my mind, it doesn't make sense to like roll the forge a bond move
right
between two players, because
right
the text of the move is all about like whether you get rejected, and that's that's like up to the other player, right? So
right.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Although it's like if you play like a particular hack of drama system, it's like it works exactly like that. Oh God, it's like you can reject the petition from the other player. Oh my God, so adversarial.
We could choose to do that here. It just the dice wouldn't tell us to.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so
I'm looking at my vow make peace with Tavik, and I feel like I am gonna give myself a milestone on that, because
okay, so
he and I talked about
yeah, that was heavy. I was like, whoa.
Right, so
yeah. Where is that? Okay, here we go. I got it. Yeah. Quest moves. All right, so significant progress towards your quest, overcoming critical. Okay, what is this? You were like extraordinary or no extreme?
It's extreme. Yes, I'll just give it. I get to give it 2 ticks.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So that'll bring me up to 1 full progress box.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It'll bring me up to 2 full progress boxes, because I was already on 1 with 2 ticks apparently.
Okay.
Well, that's something.
All right. Awesome.
I don't have any other vows in play at the moment, so that's the only thing.
Right. What do you think of her epic breaking the blade binding? We found out so much shit.
Yeah, I think given that Ajla found out about the ancestry connection, right, that for sure has got to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that
significant. She understood how that tied into the inscription on the blade, right? So that's for sure that
fulfills the 1 progress.
Yeah, so that takes you up to like 1 full and 0 ticks, right?
Okay.
Like, are there any other milestones is there anything in her kind of standing next to this in the pocket dimension, what do you want to call it?
I mean, like they've come to an accord where they're actually like able to talk. And then I
Yeah.
feel like this is kind of like, the impetus for the asset to be able to be used better. So I want to give myself a tick for that just because it's like I feel like, oh, they actually had discussion because then Vess was helpful in figuring out what to do to get Urek back. I mean, not quite blade binding, but I mean, I feel like there's like some progress there because it's like now there's like some use of the blade and you know
Mm-hmm.
as the
Mm-hmm.
entity behind it. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Be generous with yourself. It's an epic quest. It takes
God,
you you
it's
don't want to
okay.
be you don't want to be stingy with handing out the milestones on epic quest because
No,
that's going to take like
no.
a long time.
Well, I mean, again, it's like keep coming up with things that come up along the
Yeah.
way. I mean, like side
Yeah. Sure.
quests,
I mean, yeah. Then that's
bad
what we need
escort
to grind out.
missions.
Grind out some XP is to like start completing some lower rank quests.
Yeah. Well,
Because
yeah.
you've got one XP and I've got two, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I still don't even
I
know how
kind
I
of
got the one XP. I mean, like,
you did complete something. You had like a I think you had a dangerous quest and you rolled a weak hit on completing it, which gives you on a weak hit you get
one.
half the usual XP
Right.
rounding down.
Sure. Okay.
Um, so that's how that happened. And I think I rolled a strong hit on mine, which is why I got two.
Okay.
I forget what they were now, but
Yeah. No, no, it's fine. Well, okay, I
yeah,
can see it because it's like I can see under my Val thing that like I had one and then it was blanked.
I'm
So
kind of
I
yeah,
had something, but I don't remember what it was.
I'm
Um,
torn between spending mine
is there
on an
something that you
upgrade.
want to? Yeah, is there something that you want to
Well, there's a really interesting upgrade on Spirit
upgrade?
Bound, which is um, one time only when you successfully fulfill your vow in service to the spirit. Choose one. You can let them go and take two experience.
Mm,
You basically get the experience back for the asset and lose the asset. So that's like you fulfill your, which I
mm,
think might be long term, might be the way to go with
mm-hmm.
Tavik. It makes sense as like the end of that
Yeah,
vow.
sure.
But I don't need to do that now
Yeah.
because like I have a long way to go before I get to that. And I was thinking I have a couple of like other assets in mind that I might like to buy
Mm-hmm.
once we get to White Ken.
Okay.
But I need more XP because you have to have three to buy a new one.
Right. Exactly. I'm just trying to think. I feel like even though Yurik has been a great help and was fulfilling his vow for being accompanying Ajla. I feel like now she owes him something because again,
Mm.
he shouldn't have had to do the things that he did and almost becoming dead, dead in service of that. So now she's like, I just don't know how to like, parlay that into a vow or whatever. I'm just like,
Yeah.
because I mean, like, the closest to her brother is carrying him to help her, but yet, I mean, like, she feels like she owes him something.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm just trying to think of how we can word that because I
Right,
don't
right,
I
right.
don't know. I mean, I want it to be something in play, but also, I mean,
Yeah, I mean it seems like a kind of balancing of the debt kind of thing, right?
mm-hmm,
Where,
yes.
but I don't know if that's too vague. I mean, maybe not, because then you can just kind of. It depends how kind of depends how large a quest you want to make it. But I suspect you probably want to make it a shortish one in order to, for terms of like earning XP, you probably want to make it a shortish one.
I know mechanically, I mean, like that would make the
Yeah,
most sense, right? But I
you
mean,
can
like
always
even
do multiple ones, right?
yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, if it's determined by like waypoint or whatever, I mean, like, we're
Mm.
not gonna get to White Ken yet, but something, something, something. You know what? So she's told the story, got you to at least smile, if not laugh a little. And you're riding along, and she looks up from staring at the road and looks at you, Jurek, and says, I owe you. Regardless of what you feel you owe my brother, I mean, you didn't have to go into Gylrikin's tower for me. You didn't have to try and get information from him for me. I can say thank you, but I don't think that's enough. Is there anything I can do for you? I mean, aside from being amusing, but I mean that comes in spurts. So, um,
I think you see you're kind of riding along, thinking about that.
as you're
So from
considering,
yeah, oh, go
as you're
ahead.
considering it, she asks you, you came away from sharpening blades and your peddler's cart, getting wrapped up in this. Trying to get away from that life, I guess. Is there something I can do to help you? I don't know. Find a life outside of returning to the warriorhood, or, I mean, I imagine you don't want to go back to sharpening the reminders of your old life.
It feels like a step that I'm swinging a sword for a point that doesn't feel like I'm just taking things from the world, taking things from folk who don't already have much. So you've already given me something a way to use the one thing I'm good at for something that makes the world a little better.
That's an interesting story. One I can't wait to see how it develops. This sounds perhaps a little silly, but in more than thanks, and this is where she pulls the sword across her lap as she rides. I swear on this iron to help you better your story. I'm not sure how yet, but it's the least I can do for helping me to fulfill mine. I don't know.
I'll take that. So at this point, I guess you want to roll a swear an iron vow.
I think so. Let's see.
So what rank do you want to give that?
Oh boy.
Oh, I need to.
Yeah.
Can we take 5?
Absolutely. Okay. So roll to swear the iron vow. All right. So write your vow, give the quest a rank. I put down possibly dangerous, I think. I mean,
yeah, that seems,
yeah. Because
dangerous is doable in not a crazy amount of time.
I mean, again, like, there's a bit of time before we get to Whitekern, and then things can happen along the way to help this along.
Sure.
And then make this vow to a person or community with whom you share a bond. +1.
Oh, right? You do. You get a +1. Nice.
Okay. So roll with heart, which is, yep, her best stat. So 3 + 1, so 4. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, so 6 + 4 is 10 versus 3 and a 7. Yay!
That sounds like a strong hit to me.
Okay, emboldened and clear what you must do next. Ask the Oracle if unsure. +2 momentum. Hold on, let me add momentum. Oh.
That maxes you out, right? I think.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, nice. Shit. Better start burning it.
Oh, shit. We'll see. Okay. And then, what I must do next. Just for funsies, because I always like to see what it says. Seek to resolve questions, discover details about blah, 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 blah. Crap.
What? What's up?
No, I'm just trying to think. I mean, I was gonna ask the Oracle, but I mean, like, it just like says, well, figure out the answer. I mean, it doesn't really say how to really go about, like, the next move.
There's always the action and theme oracles, which are kind of they're like the vague prompt oracles.
Okay. I know you like to roll on the table.
They may not make any sense, but
okay. So what? All right, because it's fun. It's almost like fortune telling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just kind of like oblique strategies or something where you just try and turn it into something that.
Okay, I like those. So what do I roll? The 2 10s or do I roll?
Yeah, you would roll 2 percentage dice. So
Okay.
you
So
roll an
two
action and
tens.
then a theme. So yeah,
Oh.
two
Oh.
separate
So
things.
so. Okay.
Come on, do
Tell.
the first one, and I have the tables right in front of me here. So
Okay. So is it just the two tens, or am I rolling all of it?
do yeah, just the two tens. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right. Give me a second.
And
Check.
if this sparks something, it sparks something. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Right. Exactly. Well, I mean, I'm full of ideas. It's like I just need a little help. Okay. So that came out to 30. Yeah, 30.
Focus and do it again.
What?
That was the action. Focus, and then another percentage
Oh.
for the
Okay.
theme.
Okay. Hold on. I want to write this down because I'm just like, say what? Okay. That one was a 65.
Dream. Focus. Dream.
We're gonna
Do
have
with
a
that what
dream.
you will.
We're gonna have a dream sequence. Oh, there's gonna be a discussion. Okay. So.
Or maybe that means you're going to try and find out what Yurik really wants out of life, and yeah, I don't know, something along those lines, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, well, she's observed a little bit of him thus far, and I mean, could be interpreted in a few ways, you know. Um, Interesting geography. When I first saw it, it just looked like a monster's head to me. Oh, looking at a long view map of the Ironlands, so it's just funny. Okay.
See what you mean? Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah,
Yeah, really does.
especially if you turn it sideways. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, it's just it looks like some monstrosity out of Trophy Dark. I'm gonna say it right now because it's like, oh my god. Because if I didn't see the thing underneath saying the Ironlands, that's what I would have thought of. It's like, oh, that's a monstrosity. Okay, great. All right, so focus and dream. Okay, excellent. Um, hmm.
And then, yeah, are we going to set up a track for tracking our journey to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about this? Should we make it our previous journey was dangerous, right? And
Yes.
this feels like we're going further. So, should we go formidable?
Is that the next one?
That's the next one. Yeah. It
Um,
goes troublesome, dangerous, formidable, extreme, epic. I don't think we're going extreme or epic. That's
Formidable sounds good because
all right.
again,
Good.
there could be like the side stuff that's like the like lateral progress tracks. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
completing
there are
those,
things that can take us off the track, and yeah. All right,
so we
let's
wouldn't
do it.
necessarily
So,
complete it. Yeah, we wouldn't necessarily complete it in a linear fashion per se, like more of a zigzag, where it would like other
exactly.
things would happen. And as you saw on the destinations list, there's many things that could possibly happen.
In a
And
way, yeah, in a way, it almost feels like the. It always feels to me. I don't know if it's intentional, but the difficulty of or the rank of a journey kind of translates into like number of days travel.
okay,
Almost so.
okay,
Like assuming everything goes optimally, which it never does.
mm-mm.
So this is like kind of like 10 days travel if nothing goes wrong.
I mean, yes, if it was going to be
If you go in a straight line.
normal, yes, but as we well know, die
Straight
rolls
lines are
say
not a thing. Yeah.
no, not around here, no. So would we do, or would you? Hold on. I don't even think we didn't roll for reach your destination, right? I mean, we didn't. Did we do that? Do you remember?
We did, yeah. Yeah, we
Okay.
did.
All right
Yep.
then. Never mind. All right, great.
I don't remember the outcome of it, but yeah, we did.
Oh wait, I think I do.
It must have been a hit of
What
some
did
kind.
it was it was I think it was a weak hit because we had that weirdness with the secret or something
Yeah. That's right.
complicating the coming to Rhyme Run, and which is why like there was all sorts of weirdness with Gylrikin on top of Ajla weirdness. So oh man, yeah, that was okay. So formidable journey, one progress per waypoint. Okay, and then for each segment, roll wits. Okay. Um, if you are setting off from a community from which you share a bond, add +1 to your initial roll. I mean, I don't know if we want to say that I sort of had a bond in Rhyme Run. I mean,
Yeah,
people knew
yeah, I
me.
think so.
Okay, so let's add
I
plus
think
one
you
to
could,
the.
you can for sure. I would go as far as to say you could treat that as one of your background bonds and tick another tick on your bonds track and write that in. I think
Okay,
that totally makes sense
okay, I can totally do that. If I
since
remember where I put it.
it's a community where you lived before and knew like more than one
Yes.
person. Makes sense to me.
Okay, that's fine. Did I do that somewhere? No, I don't think I did. Hold on. I'm just gonna mark it. Rhyme Run. We did that. Mm-mm-mm. Eh, marked it. Okay, so rolling on my wits or your wits? I guess since it's me jumping off of my
Yeah,
bond to Rhyme Run, I guess it has to be me.
that makes sense. Yeah, I guess it makes sense that if like once we get further, it might make sense for me to be doing it because beyond a certain part of the journey, I think
Yes.
Europe is the only one who knows the way. But right
Yeah.
now, it's like, oh, we're heading north.
Okay. All right.
Um,
So 2 + 2 and then +1, so +3, and then. All right. Give me a second. No. Okay. Oh, jeez. Uh,
good start, I take it.
it's bad. It's bad.
Remember, you can burn momentum.
It's true. I can definitely do that. So, wait, can I do that? Yeah, it's not a progress move. Okay, so it was originally 5 against a 5 and a 10. So
Oh
no,
wow, so
we
that
are.
would be a miss
Yeah.
straight
So
away. I mean, we
let's
can
go
play
to
that out, or we can.
well. Okay, so hold on, miss. Waylaid by a perilous event. Damn.
Yeah,
Okay, I like it. I mean, like we had the discussion, da da da. You know, it's like it's good. But then it becomes bad. Let's go to pay the price just for funsies because I'm all about the fun. All right, great. Yeah. Perilous. Wait, what did it say? Perilous something or other?
you're waylaid by a perilous event.
Oh God,
I
perilous.
mean, I'm going to
Storm.
throw out the
S-
yeah,
storm. Yeah.
or another obvious one might be Iron Priest, since we
Ooh.
know they're around.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Um,
It's like maybe they saw us leave and oh shit. Okay. So we can line it up for next time because it's like that sounds like a good way
yeah.
to cliffhang. So hold on, let's. Do we want to say that's what happens, or do we want to
Um,
roll on the table and see how much worse it is to add to it? I can do it. I can do it if you want.
no, roll on the table and see what it
Okay.
says, and if it's something that sounds good, that's
Okay. Good.
I mean, good in the sense of interesting. Yeah.
I know, but I just think it's funny. Okay, that is an 84. What is 84? Oh. Oh, a surprising development complicates your quest. Even better.
Mm.
Ooh. Mm. I mean, I like the Iron Priest idea, but a surprising development complicates the quest. What if one of the Iron Priests was somebody that you knew from Shekar's Devils?
Or elsewhere.
Okay. Oh, is this the
Mm.
thing that we were going to mention about the kid that you let
Huh.
live?
Oh, yeah. 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 That could be interesting, couldn't it?
Mm-hmm. I can picture this person.
Okay, if you have an idea for how that goes, then
I mean, I will set it up, and then
mm, mm,
then we can see if you want to run with it for next time. Okay.
that sounds good to me.
All right. So we're riding, and Ajla makes the vow on the sword. In all seriousness, and does want to help you, and all of a sudden, for this route that we're taking, which is again not on the roads, it's like kind of like backwoods or like not well worn track,
Mm.
we hear hoofbeats coming from the side and then from behind. And I think what ends up happening is that we are suddenly surrounded by at least 5 priests. And the one that's in the lead, that is closest to you, Jurek, they're in their iron bandoliered garb, robes, what have you, and they have their hoods up. But we recognize them because of the little plates of iron on their person. But the one in the lead, who's closest to you, will pull down their hood and look at you. And it is a face that you may or may not remember. It is a young man who looks at you with eyes filled with hate. And he says, "The hawk, I presume."
Folks call me that once. You know me, boy.
I do. And I wish I could say it's a pleasure. Unfinished business, hawk.
I wish I could say I remember what that business was, but a lot of people have got unfinished business with me.
And he smiles. Well, we have all the time in the world then. Take them. And we can leave that for next time.
Always like a cliffhanger.
Uh-huh, exactly. Quick stars and wishes.
Yeah. I think staff are just like it. It's kind of fun how quickly we wrapped up the whole Gylrikin thing. Like I was expecting, it just went against my expectations in a good way. And so
Okay,
that's
that's good.
always fun. And
Yes.
yeah, uh, that's it. I enjoyed that twist at the end. That's sometimes it's fun to lean into those bad dice rolls, even when you've got the momentum to do something about it.
Yeah.
Because now you can burn it, helping
Yeah.
us kill these
Well,
guys.
yeah. Well, well, I will say, and I'm glad it's recorded. I will say for next time though, I think that it should start with some kind of flashback, whether it be a
Yeah,
time
yeah,
when you
yeah.
were with Tavik and Isru, or by yourself and you were like hacking away, literally hacking away at people. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean like where you could conceivably recall your memory and then see this kid. But I mean, again, he's a young man now, so you may or may not recognize him. But
Hmm.
you remember perhaps a time where maybe the hawk didn't complete all the kills. Maybe,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, because then you were already starting to think of your, why the hell am I doing this? You know,
Hmm.
and maybe that was your mistake. Oops.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It reminds me of that. Yeah, that old scene. I think it was in Saving Private Ryan, wasn't it? Where there's like one point where they let a German soldier go, and then he like comes back later in the movie, and like, yeah, turns out to have been a mistake
Yeah.
to do that.
I
Yeah,
mean, sometimes it works out, but
sure. You try and do
some
the right thing, but sometimes it bites you in the ass.
sometimes it bites you in the ass, and in this case, it's gonna be taking a real big bite out of your ex ass. We're gonna try for it for next time. Holy shit! No, I had some ideas of how this was going to resolve, but I mean, I'm kind of glad that we had mostly the heart to heart talks kind of thing, and just kind of
Yeah, yeah,
like contemplating or musing on what Yurik was trying to do, with his spirit bond with Tavik, and just like trying to figure that out, and like working through some of his past, and then just the whole thing with like Ajla trying to deal with um, this is what we can do with Gylrikin, and then this is how we can get Yurik back, and then
mm,
I mean it just had a I think it had a good logic to it. Um,
yeah.
at least not too far off the beam. I mean, like it could have gotten really weird, but I mean, it was enough to be able to do the confrontation, get it done, let Yurik have some time with Tavik, and then be able to bring it all back. But then, like now, there's consequences. Now there's some um, splashback. I forget the term. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
Whatever. But I mean,
Fallout.
yeah,
Yeah.
fallout. There's some fallout from it, and then now, even more complicated. All right, awesome. I mean, the Iron Priests aren't going to stop either, because I mean, like originally those were the people that she was originally trying to follow before she heard
Yeah.
um, Yurik being brought to the clearing by Dag and the other Blade cultists.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, no, I mean, wish for next time, seeing how it goes, because this is fun. Um,
Yeah. I think the other wish I have is that I need to do some thinking about like kind of what is our next goal could be, because we had this clear goal to go see Gylrikin, and then like that's now behind us, and we need to figure out what in terms of like resolving the entire question of the blade, we need to figure out
yeah,
how we can find out more. But we can figure that out and play as well. But it's like, yeah,
yes.
we need to stop
Well, I
throwing some
mean,
ideas around for that.
again, I mean, like start throwing some stuff on that
Yeah,
that random table that I have, because
totally. Yeah.
I'm just pulling some stuff out of there, and I actually added one more thing to it. You probably didn't get to see it yet, but I mean, like I threw something on there, and then again, there's little waypoints that could conceivably give us more clues.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
That's exactly it. Yeah.
so I mean, like there's no dearth of things that we can do for these
Hmm. Hmm.
side business on the way to Whitekern. So, alrighty.
Okay,
This is fun.
it is.
Goodbye.
I'll see you next week. Yeah.
See you next week. Alrighty. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh.